It was a summer evening like many others in the small rural town of Elmridge. The sun was setting behind the hills, casting a golden hue across the sky as children played in the front yards and neighbors chatted over fences. But within a matter of minutes, that peaceful evening would erupt into chaos, and what happened next would be retold for generations as a miraculous moment where heaven and earth briefly touched. This is the incredible true story of how a young boy named Eli was saved from a burning house by a hand no one could trace, no one could explain, and no one would ever forget. Eli Parker was only 6 years old, curious, full of energy, and adored by everyone in his neighborhood. He had just finished his first year of school and was counting down the days to a much-anticipated family trip to the lake. That afternoon, his mother, Jenna, had promised to make his favorite dinner, mac and cheese with extra cheese and little hot dogs cut up inside. "Stay inside while I get your sister from dance class," Jenna called as she left. "Daddy will be back in 10 minutes. Eli nodded, flipping through his picture books on the couch. The house was quiet, the breeze from the open window gently rustling the curtains. But fate had a different plan that day. Just minutes after Jenna left, something sparked in the kitchen. Investigators would later determine it was a faulty wire in the back of the old microwave. The fire started small, just smoke curling up the wall. But within moments, flames caught onto the wooden cabinets and raced across the ceiling like lightning. Eli didn't notice it at first, but when he smelled smoke, he went to the kitchen doorway and froze. A wall of fire was building fast, and the hallway that led to the front door was already consumed in black smoke. He coughed, backing away in fear. "Mom," he called out.
"Daddy."
There was no answer. He tried to run to the back door, but it was locked with the high latch his parents always used. Eli was too short to reach it. The smoke grew thicker. The fire roared louder. The heat pressed against his small face.
He began to cry.
Outside, neighbors began to notice the smoke curling up from the Parkers' roof. Someone called 911. Another raced to bang on the doors and windows, but the fire spread fast. It was clear someone was still inside. "Where's the boy?" a woman cried. People tried to force the front door open, but the flames had sealed it shut. Panic swept through the crowd. Sirens wailed in the distance, but everyone knew the fire department might not make it in time. Inside, Eli curled in the corner of the living room, coughing violently, tears streaming down his soot-covered cheeks. "I don't want to die," he whispered. "God, please help me." Just then, through the smoke, Eli saw something that made him blink. A hand. A large, strong hand reached through the flames and extended toward him. It wasn't attached to anyone he could see. There was no face, no figure. Just a hand, calm and steady, glowing faintly with a golden light. Eli didn't hesitate. He reached up. The moment their hands touched, the heat and smoke seemed to fade. The hand gripped as tightly and led him, somehow, through the fire. Eli couldn't recall his feet touching the ground. He only remembered the warmth of the hand, not burning but comforting, like the sun on a cool day. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the hand was gone. Firefighters arrived moments later and began dousing the flames. As they prepared to break in through the back, a shout stopped them. "Look, over there." To everyone's astonishment, Eli was standing in the backyard, alone, barefoot, and wide-eyed, but unharmed. Not a single burn or scratch on him. His pajamas were slightly singed, but his body was untouched. "How did you get out, baby?" Jenna sobbed as she wrapped him in her arms, having arrived just as he was found. Eli looked around, confused. "The man helped me," he said simply. "What man?" a firefighter asked. "The man with the glowing hand," Eli answered. "He took me out, but he's gone now." The story made headlines in local newspapers. Reporters came from nearby towns to hear about the miracle boy. Fire investigators were baffled. Based on the fire's speed and the layout of the house, there was no possible way for Eli to have escaped on his own. "We don't know how he got out," one official admitted. "There's no physical evidence of a path. The area he said he came through was completely engulfed at the time." Neighbors swore no one had entered through the front or back. No rescuer had claimed credit. No one had seen anything except Eli. Jenna asked Eli again and again to describe what happened. His answer never changed. "He had a bright hand," Eli explained. "It was warm. He didn't say anything. He just took me out." "Did he have wings?" someone asked him. "No," Eli replied. "Just light, like a person made of light." Some suggested he imagined it, an effect of trauma. But Eli was calm, peaceful even. "God sent him," he told his grandmother one evening. "He said I could ask for help, and God would hear me. So I did." In the years that followed, Eli's story continued to inspire people far and wide. Jenna returned to church for the first time in years. The family spoke often at schools, churches, and youth groups about what happened that day. Eli grew into a kind, gentle teenager, known for his compassion and unwavering faith. He always wore a small pendant of Saint Michael the Archangel, though he never said it was Saint Michael who had helped him. "I don't know who it was," he'd say. "Maybe it was an angel. Maybe a saint. Maybe Jesus. All I know is I was saved. And whoever it was, they came because I asked for help." Eli eventually pursued a career in emergency response, becoming a firefighter. Whenever he was asked why, his answer was simple: "Because someone pulled me out of the fire. I want to do the same for others." To this day, no one has been able to explain how he survived. The fire department has no record of a rescuer. And the place where he emerged? There were no footprints, no broken windows, no signs of exit. Just a miracle. Some stories defy logic. They remind us that beyond the veil of the physical world, there is a spiritual realm at work, a place where mercy steps in when all hope seems lost. Eli's story isn't just about a fire. It's about faith, about a child's simple plea that reached the heavens, and about a mysterious hand, gentle, powerful, and divine, that answered. If this story moved you, please subscribe for more miraculous true stories that show the unseen ways God works in our lives. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe angels can walk through fire to save us? Stay tuned for our next story, when a stranger on a bus whispered a warning that saved an entire family from disaster.